the infinite void between stars, a place where empires rise and fall like sand, through an hourglass, where the strong survive and the weak are forgotten. In the outer reaches of the Valorian expanse, this ancient truth had never been questioned. The Valorian Empire had ruled for 3,000 years. They did not build. They conquered. They did not negotiate. They demanded. And the galaxy obeyed. But on a cold, unremarkable station orbiting a dying star, something extraordinary was about to unfold. Something that would forever change how the galaxy understood the word strength. It began with a distress call. The Valorian battle fleet, 17 destroyer-class vessels, bristling with plasma cannons and quantum accelerators, had just crushed the Methane Consortium's resistance. The consortium was no more. Their stations were ash. Their population redistributed or eliminated, as the Valorians preferred to say. The Valorian commander, a towering Krell with scales the color of burnished steel, stood on his flagship's bridge, surveying the aftermath with cold satisfaction. He had served the Empire for 240 years. He had never lost a battle. He had never shown mercy. He did not intend to start now. But then the sensors picked it up. A human ship, not a warship, not a frigate, not anything remotely resembling a military vessel. It was a cargo freighter, old, worn, with hull plating patched a dozen times over. His transponder identified it as the Meridian Dawn, Registry Earth, currently transmitting a desperate mayday on all known frequencies. The Valorian commander watched the sensors with something approaching amusement. A human vessel, he mused, his voice like grinding stone. How pathetic. His communications officer, a nervous trill species, hesitated before speaking. Sir, they're requesting immediate assistance. There appears to be a mechanical failure. There. Destroy it. The commander interrupted. The trill blinked. Sir, there is no tactical advantage. They pose no threat. If we simply ignore, destroy it. The commander repeated, his tone final. Humanity is a young species, scattered, insignificant. They have no place cluttering the territories of the Empire. Make it quick. The order rippled through the fleet. Weapons began charging. But in that moment, Captain Sarah Chen of the Meridian Dawn made a choice. A choice that would echo across the stars. Captain Chen. All hands, this is the captain. We have incoming hostile contacts. I'm not going to lie to you. The odds aren't good. But we've never been good at playing by the odds. The Meridian Dawn wasn't a warship. She was a cargo hauler, built to transport goods between the scattered human colonies. Her crew was small, just 32 souls. Engineers, navigators, medics, and traders. Not soldiers, not warriors, just people. But Captain Chen had served in the Earth Defense Force for 20 years before taking the helm of this humble freighter. And she knew something the Valorian commander did not. Humans are not resources to be discarded. They are not statistics in an empire's ledger. They are survivors. And they are creative in ways that protocol-bound militaries had never learned to be. Captain Chen. Martinez, divert all auxiliary power to the engines. I don't care if the lights go out. I don't care if the coffee makers stop working. I want every ounce of thrust this ship can produce. Martinez. Captain, if we push the reactors beyond spec, we could suffer a cascade failure. Captain Chen. Then we'll fail running, not sitting. The Meridian Dawn accelerated. The Valorian fleet fired. Plasma bolts tore through space, brilliant and terrible. But Captain Chen had already anticipated their trajectory. She flew her freighter like a dancer, not with the rigid precision of military doctrine, but with intuition, with improvisation, with the kind of unpredictable grace that no AI combat algorithm had been programmed to counter. The first salvo missed. Then the second. The Valorian commander leaned forward in his command chair, his scales flickering with something that might have been irritation or curiosity. He was not accustomed to prey that evaded his grasp. "Recalibrate targeting systems," he ordered. "Concentrate all firepower on their drive section. Commander Krell, they are running toward the debris field from the consortium engagement. A foolish choice. There is nowhere to hide." But Captain Chen wasn't running toward the debris field to hide. She was running toward it because she had seen something in the tactical data. The destroyed consortium station, the Vex outpost, had been civilian, a research and habitation facility. And somewhere in that debris, there were survivors. The Valorian scanners had registered 273 life signs. The Valorian Empire had noted this statistic, then disregarded it. Humans could not disregard it. Captain Chen maneuvered the Meridian Dawn directly into the debris field. The freighters' shields flared and crackled as ancient hull fragments and quantum radiation bombarded her hull. She was not designed for this. Every system was screaming warnings. The structural integrity was dropping toward critical. But her crew understood what she was doing. Without hesitation, without a single word of protest, they became her extensions. The medical officer prepared the cargo bay as a refuge. The engineers shored up the bulkheads. The bridge crew scanned frantically, plotting retrieval coordinates, broadcasting on all frequencies in the consortium's native language. "We are here. We are coming. Do not lose hope." One by one, they pulled them aboard. Methane breathers in emergency pressure suits. Scientists, engineers, children, dozens of children, their crystalline bodies glinting in the emergency lighting as human crew members carried them to safety. The Valorian ships were closing in. "Commander Krell, they are collecting the refugees." Fascinating. The tactical value is 0. They are only slowing their escape and guaranteeing their own destruction. Why would they do this? First officer. Perhaps they do not calculate in terms of tactical value, sir. The Meridian Dawn's shields failed just as the last survivor was pulled aboard. Plasma bolts raked her hull. Explosions bloomed in the engine room. The ship lurched violently, and for a terrible moment, it seemed the freighter would simply break apart. But then, the Valorian fleet went silent. Every sensor, every weapon system, every communications channel, all of it suddenly and completely offline. And then, one by one, the Valorian warships began to respond, not with weapons but with something unprecedented. They transmitted their own distress calls, not to the commander, not to the Valorian Empire, but to every station, every colony, every vessel within range. "This is the Valorian Empire Defense Fleet. We have encountered a vessel operating under principles we do not comprehend. Stand by for transmission of their designation and location. All units are advised to render immediate assistance." "Commander Krell, what is happening?" His weapons officer, visibly shaken, looked toward him with something in his expression that the commander had never seen before. "Shame. Sir, the crew, they voted. We have removed you from command." Within hours, the human freighter Meridian Dawn had saved 273 lives while being hunted by an empire that had ruled through fear for 3 millennia. She had no weapons that could match theirs, no tactical advantage, no diplomatic immunity. She had only her crew, and their choice, the choice to believe that no one was worthless, that some cargo was worth dying for, that strength was not measured in plasma cannons or planetary conquest, but in the quiet, resolute decision to save the drowning, even when the cost was everything. The Valorian Empire, for the first time in 3,000 years, understood they had been measuring strength by the wrong scale. Over the following days, the news spread like a solar flare. News networks across the galaxy broadcast the story. Young species that had accepted Valorian domination began to ask themselves new questions. The older empires began to wonder if they had misunderstood the fundamental nature of power. Captain Sarah Chen and her crew were hailed as heroes. The Meridian Dawn, battered and broken, was restored by 3 different civilizations, each insisting they be allowed to contribute to her repair. But in quiet moments, when Captain Chen stood alone on her restored bridge and looked out at the stars, she did not think of herself as a hero. She thought of the choice, the simple, human choice to do what was right when it cost everything to do so. Captain Chen, we're hauling cargo again tomorrow. New routes, new colonies to supply, because that's what we do. We survive, we help, we carry each other forward. And somewhere in the depths of space, in the chambers of the Valorian command, the old commander stood in quiet contemplation. He had spent 240 years serving strength as he understood it, but he had never understood it at all. And so the galaxy learned what humans had always known in their hearts, that true strength is not the power to destroy. It is the courage to save. It is not the will to dominate. It is the choice to protect. It is not measured in firepower or conquest or centuries of empire. It is measured in the quiet moment when everything is lost, and you reach out to save a stranger. Anyway, for the first time the galaxy understood what it truly meant to be human. If this story moved you, if it stirred something within your chest, subscribe for more tales of human courage from the stars, because the galaxy is watching us, and they're beginning to understand. We are not the strongest. We are not the oldest. We are not the most advanced. But we are the ones who choose to be better. Thank you for listening. Until the next story, keep looking up.